And I'm like,
It's not for a while today.
Good evening, everyone. I'll open the meeting. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's my turn to open us up today, and I'd like to take this opportunity to remember a former county commissioner, Dave Howman, who passed away on March 3rd. Dave served the former District 5, including the Village of Bel Air, 2003 to 2014. He managed us through some very difficult times, as well as Chuck Johnson, who's here in the audience, who served with Dave. Obviously, they were here during the Great Recession, and when our property values were plummeting, people were unemployed, and they saw us. They managed to see us through those times. Dave championed the Commission on Aging, Grass River Natural Area. I think most importantly, I'll remember Dave. He was a gentleman. I never heard him raise his voice. Never heard him speak ill of others. And so, rest in peace, Dave Howman. Thank you very much. Vicki, you do a roll call for us, please?
Yes, sir. Commissioner Rubin,
Present.
Commissioner Van Alstine,
Here.
Commissioner Scola,
Here.
Commissioner Hellwig,
Here.
Commissioner Heffron.
Here. Thank you, Vicki. Public comment tonight. Anyone wishing to make public comment? Yes, John.
I did know Dave too, and he was a gentleman. I appreciate his presence, wherever I was. He was a very nice person. And I did notice on the way up in the elevator that there's some graffiti on it. Did anybody notice that if they rode the elevator? It says Vicky sucks. I don't know if
I haven't been in the elevator.
well, it's right there, right up front, right on the stainless steel. So something I think should be done about graffiti in this building, especially if it takes maybe having a camera there, if someone's going to be doing that. But it's right on the steel. Someone keyed it, and I was not too. With a new system going in there, it should be just this pristine, but it wasn't. Anyways, I have a buddy named Matt Troll. I think most people, and maybe in this room, know who Matt is. He's a very famous manager for the sports team in Bel Air, and also one of their top fans. But he has a program he watches every week, and I call it the Professors of Nonsense. And he goes, "No, John, it's the Three Stooges." And so I thought that was his, a great show to pay attention to. And if the shoe fits, is all I can say. And also, I think I've been referred to as a village idiot, but unfortunately, I don't live in the village. I think maybe, if you do, well, then maybe that, if the shoe fits there. Also, there's $8.5 million floating around in this county. I have a friend that told me that their house on Torch Lake, they pay $8,000. It's a basic 3-bedroom home, and they don't have a basement. And so my question is, with all this lake property, Lake Michigan, Elk Lake, all the other small lakes and all the other properties, where does all of the money go? Where are all the taxes? And also, if you have $8.5 million, you can't put in this building over there. You might want it to raise district there for this old state highway, so maybe they can repair that before an accident will happen. It's a disaster. And after the last meeting I was at, one former road person or that worked at the road commission stated that everything went back to the townships. Well, since you just had all this money just laying around, unless you want, but I know it's supposed to go to this satellite prison that you want to build here, and go into business, bringing people in. But maybe Bert could hire some of those people that are going to be in those fabulous new beds to work on the roads. That's one opinion for me. And then between Terry and Jason, they're on the health board. I understand that the county pays the health department to be here. Well, what are they paying for? Well, if they're paying for the shots, Fauci has patents on those shots, so do other people. And those shots are toxic. They're giving them to, if you're 18 and older, go ahead and take them. And okay,
Wrap it up for me, John.
well, I'll come back at the end.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.
Anyone else tonight? Yes, Chuck.
I'm Chuck Johnson, Mansell Township Supervisor, and the reason I came over, I'd just like to thank the board for considering the distribution of the marijuana fund to the townships, all 15 townships, for local road maintenance. All these roads definitely aren't going, a lot of them aren't good, and they need a lot of work, and it is 100% township funded. So anyway, I just want to thank the board for that consideration. Thank you.
Thanks, Chuck. Anyone else? Heidi?
Hi. I'm Heidi Schaefer. I am from Kearney Township here in Antrim County. I appreciate the work that you folks do for us. I have a note I'd like to read. On March 6th, 2025, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to extend the 2017 $4.5 trillion tax break for corporations and the wealthiest of Americans and raise the federal deficit by $4 trillion. Elon Musk has finally admitted that they will have to pay for this tax break by slashing entitlements, Medicare and Social Security, for which we the people have already paid. These programs are not freebies from the federal government. We have paid for them. They are proposing to cut Medicaid by $1.7 trillion. In Michigan alone, that means cutting health care for over 280,000 children. Many of Antrim County seniors rely on Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid supports our seniors who use Meadowbrook Medical Care Facility. 85% of its residents utilize Medicaid to be able to reside in that wonderful facility. 98% of Meadowbrook's residents utilize Medicare for their short-term skilled nursing needs. In America, 2 out of every 3 seniors in care facilities rely on Medicaid. The working poor rely on Medicaid so that their children won't go hungry. Over 100,000 people in Representative Bergman's district rely on Medicaid. There's 3,400 people in Antrim County alone that rely on Medicaid. Representative Bergman, in an interview with the Marquette news station, My Up Now, says that the America First budget is going after waste and fraud. Vulnerable people will not be hurt. I beg to differ with Representative Bergman. People and families are already being hurt. With cuts already implemented, the services provided by the Veteran Suicide Hotline has already been diminished. Our government had issues, but from my experience, America was already great. Mr. Trump and Mr. Musk's presidency hasn't brought down the cost of groceries like they promised. And with the tariffs they're proposing, it's about to get a whole lot worse for Michigan. They have created absolute chaos and it's hurting our people and our economy. This isn't governance, it's blitzkrieg. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, my name's Kathy Albro and I live in Kearney Township. Anyone who has paid attention to the news knows our federal government is quickly sliding down the slippery slope to authoritarianism. We must speak up and condemn this lawless and unconstitutional behavior. A large group of Bel Air and Antrim County residents will be holding a march on April 5th and from 11 to 1 o'clock. We invite you to join us, commissioners. It shouldn't matter who you voted for president. We will all feel the pain sooner or later, as Heidi just said. So we hope you can make it. Please share it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
I'm Jerry Rasmussen, president of Ellsworth. And I understand you're talking about dispersing marijuana funds to the townships. That's all fine and dandy, but if it goes to the roads in Banks Township, the village will never see a dime of it. I don't feel that that's quite right. Just my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Sure.
My name is Paul Sinettis. I live here in Forest Home. I am a veteran. I got here a little late. I'm not sure exactly what the lady with the blue vest on said, but I see no issues with the veterans as far as me being losing some benefits or whatever with what has happened in our government. We shall see what happens in the future, but from what I heard her say, and this other lady, I disagree with them. I think we need responsible government, and we all need to spend our money wisely and as much as possible, listen to we the people of Bel Air. I've been coming to several meetings, and so far, most of y'all are all here, but you're not listening to the people here, in my opinion, regarding this building that was redone. No issues with progress. Now we're fighting a battle with the building over that way, the jail. And so I hope y'all please listen to the people in Antrim County.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I'll move on then. Sheriff's report indicates sent separately. May I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll support.
Supported. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Yes. Anyone opposed? In regards to minutes dated March 6th, any corrections?
Make a motion that we approve them as presented.
I'll support.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Liaison or committee reports, anyone?
Yeah, we have something from the Road Commission.
And I'm sorry, Ray, I apologize for interrupting. Please, folks, if you can't hear us, we're still trying to figure out this audio here. So if anyone in the back, Sherry or Ed, anybody who can't hear us, please raise your hand and say something. Thank you. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, I'm gonna read this verbatim. It's not very long, but it's important for the residents of Antrim County to know. So this is dated March 18th of this year. Dear local businesses, the Antrim County Road Commission will be completing rehabilitation work on both Torch River Bridge and the Clam River Bridge this spring. Work will begin in early April on River Bridge and completed by mid-May. Work will begin on the Torch River Bridge in mid-April and completed by the end of June. Our contractor is Anlin Corporation of Grand Haven, and they will begin to mobilize in the area in a few weeks. We realize that spring brings more traffic to these areas, and we are working to get the bridge construction done as quickly as possible and before the major congestion that July brings. One lane will be closed on both bridges during the work. Traffic will be controlled by using temporary traffic signals both day and night. This will cause delays and traffic backups on both sides of both bridges. Timing of the signals will be adjusted to minimize delays as much as possible. Traffic could back up in front of driveways near the Torch River Bridge at times. Due to the short approaches, this is impossible to avoid. This is important work to keep these bridges in good shape. This work will include repairing rusted reinforcing steel, chipping and patching deteriorating concrete, replacing the expansion joints on both bridges. The Torch River Bridge will also have the waterproof membrane and pavement surface replaced. Timing for the paving work necessitates that this bridge is scheduled a little later in the spring than we would like to avoid increased traffic. If you have any questions or concerns, you can contact Bert at 231-587-8521. We will do our best to get this work done as quickly as possible and keep traffic moving as smoothly as possible. And Bert also said it's going to be put in the review, also be posted in the review. That's all I have.
Thanks, Ray. Anyone else? Sure.
North Country Community Mental Health met today, and I've mentioned before that we've had some budget deficits that we're working on. The Northern Michigan Regional Entity that we're a part of, 5 mental health conglomerates in that entity, and 4 of the 5 are now running in the red. And we have committed to looking at our budget during the next month, and we also today instructed the executive officer, Brian Babbitt, to sell one of our houses that we owned in Petoskey. It was for short-term housing with people with disabilities, and it could hold 3 different apartments, and over the past year we were never able to fill it. So we thought that it needs some work, and with the work and not being able to have a good use for it, we voted to put it on the market.
Anything else, Travis? Jason, Terry? There being no old unfinished business, new business, can I get a motion to approve claims and accounts in the amount of $261,051.70?
I'll make that motion.
I will second that motion. Any discussion? Any questions? Yes.
31 health, $2,935 for autopsies. Is that we have extra, or I don't remember seeing this regularly, so just.
Brad, do you remember?
Orwell.
Yeah, there were 2 of them.
2 autopsies.
Yeah. Last month. Yeah.
Last month. It's 2 months.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, no further, there's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Human Resources Education Policy Amendment, presented by, submitted by Stephanie Murray. Looking for a motion to approve and amend the educational assistant policy as presented in our packets.
So moved.
I'll support.
Move to second. Questions? Comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Next action request submitted by Jeremy Scott. Looking for a motion to authorize county administrator as the grant administrator to execute the Michigan Medical Marijuana Operation and Oversight Grant Agreement in the amount of $17,265 between the state of Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs and Antrim County with a grant period of January 1, 2025 through September 15, 2025. Is this one motion, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay, also to approve a budget amendment and transfer the grant award of the medical marijuana operation and oversight grant to the Health Department of Northwest Michigan. As indicated in the request. I want to read the numbers to you.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Move to second. Any questions? Comments? None. All those in favor, please say aye.
Yes.
We're opposed. You. D, adult use marijuana, distributions, memo, given to us by Jeremy. I'll start with you, Jeremy. You have any comments about your memo?
Not in particular,
Okay.
Commissioner Rubenstein.
Can I refer to you, Jeremy?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to provide a one-time allocation to each of Antrim County's 15 townships, equally dividing Antrim County's 2025 marijuana tax payment of $232,914. And to authorize the chair to enter into agreements with each township to use the allocation for the sole purpose of road construction.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved by Jairus, seconded by Ray. Discussion. Terry.
I've met with a couple of villages and they want to know why the villages were not included, which would make it divided by 20 equal portions, not 15. I mean, the villages also supply taxes to us and marijuana locations are in the villages, so I think it's only be right that the villages would be incorporated into that.
So 15,527, like you said, you're giving money to townships, no villages. Where do you think that money's coming from? 2 villages. Raise that money and this is our portion of it from 2 villages. And you don't want to include any villages? For one, that's where I have a problem. Most in the county don't support the marijuana initiative and, so Mansalona and Central Lake, hit the ground running and they saw the possibility and how how it could benefit their areas. I don't think everybody should be reaping the rewards when you don't support it. I'm sorry. I know the village or the township Mansalona does, but how many other people do not, or how many other entities do not? I've been saying, I said a long time ago, I mentioned a while ago, we should earmark the money. And it wasn't for roads. To me, it's for public safety, which means not the safety necessarily, public safety center. It should go to public safety. Mansalona, the village of Mansalona, use some of their money for a resource officer in the school. Central Lake, I heard, is trying to do the same thing. Okay, to me, money a lot better spent on the DARE program and things like that. That money is going to go a lot further than given if we split it to 20 ways. What's that make it? 11,000 or so? 10, 11,000?
11,060.
Okay,
Please. Thank you.
I mean, I just did math a little bit, I didn't do it because I couldn't remember the number. But to me, it's a big no, because you can't reap the rewards when you don't support something, in my opinion. You know, these two village, and you're not including the villages. That's just crazy to me. No matter what, I'm not supporting it because in my opinion, it's a lot better. You know, you can get 1,000 yards of gravel for your $15,000. You know how far a yard of gravel goes? I don't, but it can't be that far. You know what I mean? It costs about $150,000 to do overlay on 1 mile. And what you guys are talking is not overlay over on Old State and way over in Banks. It's not gonna be overlay, it's gonna be tear up and everything else. So to me, you're throwing money at really, you're not gonna see a difference in my opinion. Where we can see difference in the DARE program, you can see a difference. That's just my opinion. And with everything going on in the world today and all the issues we have and the people that are ending up in the jail, you need, DARE and all those programs, to stop things, not throw, because you are trying to appease somebody, give them $10,000. It's just not, I can't support it, so.
Good.
Yeah, I've been talking about the need to fix roads in Antrim County for a long time. $54 million need for roads to bring roads up to a reasonable situation in Antrim County. Does $15,000 or $11,000, does that accomplish 54 million? No, but it's a huge step. You solve a problem one small step at a time. I don't believe that just because it's not going to solve the problem completely, we shouldn't take action. I don't have a problem with dividing the money between townships and villages, but every village is within a township, and every person that drives the roads probably drives more miles of township road than they do village road. I've had conversations with both villages in my district, members. And I think that possibly next year we should divide it between the villages. So they can fix their roads too. So I think fixing roads in the township and fixing roads in the villages are both great ideas. Banks Township just doubled their road millage from 1 mil to 2, and they're still, I think the money raised to be about the amount of money we're talking about tonight, 200 and some $1,000. So I just think that it's a good investment to work on roads.
When I brought this up, the reason I did it is because, when I ran, this was never about me. This is about the citizens of Antrim County. This is about, my District 5, which is the east side of the county, and many of the townships get virtually no money for roads. I mean, it's not, Warner, 11,000 and some change. Justonia, about the same thing. And this is a one-time disbursement. It's not annual, it's a one-time disbursement. I also felt, the villages, maybe it's not fair, and I would be agreeable. If we can agree to split it 20 ways, it's better than it not happening at all. I had the pleasure of going to Mansalona Township's meeting on Monday, and was asked the question because Mansalona, the village of Mansalona and Mansalona Township has 3 dispensaries. Central Lake has 1. I think it's a nice gesture for this board to say we care. We actually do care about Antrim County, the roads, and like I said, it's a one-time disbursement. And I just think it would go a long ways to, and I know the price of roads. I sit on the as a liaison on the road commission. And so, and also too, Mr. Pete Hooverhide, who was in the audience right today with us. He sits on the board too, and he does a phenomenal job. I mean, literally, him and Kevin Geyer, Dieter Amos. I mean, we're very fortunate because they really do care about the roads. They want to put the money into the roads. And so, you know, I'm just asking for consideration from our board for this one-time disbursement, and I'm fine. If we're gonna, you know, just make it fair, do it. The 5 villages, the 15 townships, let's do it and let's show the county that we actually do care. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Comments?
You know, I spoke with Bert myself and, you know, he said there are changes coming. That will be significant amount of money returning for roads through the state. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying and it's not like I don't care, okay? But to me, the way you wrote this, you know, and when nobody else supports it in these 2 villages, and then you cut them out of it, you know, on top of that, I understand we all drive the roads and I understand all this and all that. I just can't support giving money when, to me, we're getting this tax money from these marijuana dispensaries. And to me, it's just public safety. You know, you can say whatever you want to say, but you look at what every county spends, where's the majority of the money? You know, I know it's here, your employee stuff, but what else is it? It's public safety. Okay, and you can tell me, I know the next comment is, that includes roads. No, we need, you know, it's public safety, and to me, resource officers in schools, things like that, that's where, you know. My area over there, we lost the little health department thing over there. And I think we were working on I haven't heard because we didn't have a health board meeting this month, but they're trying to get a nurse over there. But things like that, to me, you know, it's about, you know, the kids are constituents soon to be, or eventually, and their parents, especially in our area, right? I'm sorry, we use all these resources. And we need, you know, prevention, in my opinion, so. That's where I'm gonna stand and that's where I'm voting, and it doesn't, you know, I hope I swayed somebody, but, you know, chip and seal a half-mile road. You know, that's not chip and seal over there. It's $150,000 to overlay. And again, you're not doing that. And I understand you show good faith, but to me, you're giving them a few loads of gravel, basically. So, you know, that's all I got to say.
Thanks, Jason. Barry, anything else?
No, I'm good.
Jared? I was also, I happened to stop into that Mansalona meeting, as well, this week, and I had never met Mike Beal before. I met him that night, and I remember, what he said at that meeting was the same thing you're saying, Jason, is how is it, I'll pick on District 1. You know, how is it fair that District 1, Milton and Elk Rapids Township, who does not have these businesses in their areas, receive this money? And it was an interesting, you know, it was a very interesting comment. We all care. We all care. And I know we all do. That's why we're here. Each and every one of us. So never a question about that. If we allocate this money to the roads, it puts me further away from my goal of somehow getting to a shorter term bond for this potential public safety center. I understand we're in a period of time where, you know, that may not be occurring, but right now we voted for, this board voted for a 25-year, up to a 25-year bond, up to 25-year bond. I am completely focused on something below that. And if we take $5 from here, anyways, it puts me farther away from that. So I appreciate that roads are important. There's no doubt they are. but, I can't get away from the public safety center. Those are stuff. I agree. Other comments, gentlemen? Else? Okay, we had a motion in a second. Vicky, I'll ask for a roll call vote, please.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Hellwig,
No.
Commissioner Scola,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Alstine,
No.
Commissioner Ruby,
Yes.
Commissioner Heffernan.
No. Thank you very much. Thank you for the discussion, everyone. There being no annual reports, appointments, moving to Jeremy's county administrator reports. Questions?
I see the tree trimming is going good. I seen them over there working away. We're done with this phase. It looked like they did a nice job cleaning all the mess up and everything else. It looks great where they did the report.
Number 5, Barnes Park, paving, are we getting bids in, or we sent out a request for proposal, I think? How's that looking so far?
Well, we won't get bids in until the last minute. They always wait till the last minute on these, but he's met with at least one, I think, two. Just taking a look at the project and going over it out of Barnes Park.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, Jeremy, our last meeting, I see that you had an opportunity to talk to the ACT director, when it concerns GTI. And I'm reading it, it sounds like that, they have, some financial difficulty as well. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, I mean, we already know that state and federal funding is lower. It's promising to be lower every year. Everything that they don't make up from that state funding in fairs, it has to be made up from the general fund.
And just so I'm clear on this, and I think the public needs to be clear on this too. It says the director also stated that GTI is currently being charged a reduced rate for their route of $1.50 a day, which is less than half the ACT's operating cost.
$150 a day.
$150, it's $150 a day.
Right, which
Okay.
takes all the routes and all the people that they're picking up for that day.
Okay, and that rate, that $150 a day is like cut in half is what is that what I'm reading?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Question, Jeremy? Let's see. Airport, anything from Matthew? He's with us here. Any questions or anything for Jeremy to follow up with Matthew? Animal control, Dane?
Do we have, Jeremy, do we have, I didn't look at the employment thing. Did we get some applicants for that? Oh.
We did one round, some didn't work out that we were looking at. And so we're looking at a second round. Probably in the next few weeks here to go back over. You know, it's always my opinion that it's more important that you get the right employees than to just fill spots. Because it'll cost a lot more money and time to have somebody just come and go.
Thank you.
Building department?
On the building department, how is the new soil erosion going with that?
Going well. Our new soil erosion officer, Brad, he is been very diligent, getting his certifications. I've had compliments from the public at large and from the building official. He says that it's, you know, now that they're working out some of the kinks, it's going on.
Commission on Aging? Commission on Aging?
It's nice to have it in the report.
Yeah. So, that's nice. see those numbers.
Emergency service, emergency management. Parks Department. Jeremy, and I am certain that it's, on her, Lindsay's agenda. I know she's just getting up to speed here, but, I think it's important, I'd ask that if she please, could make an opportunity to reach out to the Village of Elk Rapids, to meet with them or introduce herself to them. Because obviously the day park is inside the village. I'm guessing maybe Torch Lake Township.
She was there last meeting.
Then she's probably already scheduled in Elk Rapids.
Like she said, so I thought she said in the notes that she was meeting.
And I didn't say anything. Thank you. I know that's easy for everybody. So, veterans, anything else on part? Veterans Affairs? Okay. Brad, your report, please.
Workers' comp audit, those documents were all sent out. Got auditors next week for financial statements. The other, just sent out, noticed, all the department heads on, capital improvement plan. Right now, we have scheduled for May 28th for the CIP event. So, yep, that's what I got.
Okay, thank you. Question for Brad. Okay. Moving on, chairman's report. I don't have anything tonight. Any Jason, any additional comments?
Nope.
Terry? Ray?
I have one question, because
Yeah.
we're kind of, hopefully, Jeremy, you might be able to answer it. The trail derailment, excuse me, I look at the track, does anybody know how that occurred?
It was a plow truck that caught the edge of it with their blade
Okay,
and, yeah, apparently this happened. It's uncomfortable for me, but apparently this is not an uncommon, occurrence.
Makes sense.
okay, yeah, because the picture, I mean, I was like, whoa, okay, all right, so, thank you, I appreciate it.
Jeremy, we got email communication about possible Amtrak in Antrim County. Don't know, did you see that email?
No, I heard about it, but I hadn't.
Okay. Just curious.
They've been talking about that for a long
Well, and
time.
it doesn't make any sense, because I don't think there's any tracks in Elk Rapids.
Well,
I said it's off 131.
Yeah, just 131.
I was trying to figure out how it would work.
They were completely off whack there, so hopefully they'll get it right and send it back to us again, but
I think she did a follow-up email, said was wrong.
yeah,
So,
it's up
yeah.
131 corridor, which they've talked about, like they said, for years, coming through Mansalona and on up through all the way to Mackinac, but obviously it's never materialized, but
And there was one that talked about a stop in Elk Rapids.
Elk Rapids,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know how they're doing that. No, the village of Mansalona they've talked about that for a long time, because somebody, I think, years ago came and talked to them about it, and they supported it. I know that much, but like Mike Allison had told me, it's a long term, it's way in the future. It's not something that's gonna happen tomorrow, or even probably 10 years, but it's wishful thinking, I think, so.
Anything else, Joe? Public comment, last public comment tonight. Anyone? Yes, sir, John. All right.
One thing that I might say to Ray is you might have a toll collection at either end of Old State. That way, everyone will have to support the reconstruction of that. It's very unsafe. I don't know if anybody's been down there, but it's a wreck. And they did a little some patch just before the election last fall, but that was, that was just ridiculous. And Jason, as far as the DARE program goes, my son went to Bel Air in the 90s, and the DARE program doesn't work. It's been proven not to work. My son came home from school and told me how to smoke or sniff glue. He also told me how to roll a joint and other things. And that's what the officer who was in charge of it was exposing to these children. So that program to me is like failure. And we ended up pulling our children out of that fine education system. They brought in deliberate dumbing down and all that other stuff. And then between you and Terry on the health board, if the county's supporting those shots, they're toxic. There's antifreeze in them, there are cancer viruses in them. And if the county is paying for those shots, it's going right into Fauci's pocket, and there's liability now too. So if someone is getting a shot from the health department and they have damage to their children, then I would say take it up with a lawyer, because this county should be sued for promoting shots that they don't need. A county nurse, Karen Kowalski, told me at a school board meeting in Bel Air in the 90s that it was tied to funding, not tied to the health of the children. And so if there wasn't 95% compliant, they would take away funding. So not advising these parents that are coming there because they can't afford the shots and getting shots, then there's some liability there. I had issues with one of my family members with shots from the health department, and they're toxic. If you took what's in those shots and put it in an apple, I brought up before, you eat that apple because it has other things in it too. It has mercury, it has antifreeze. Those shots are not vaccines, they're kill shots. And let's just look at all of the children that have autism today and cancer. And this is at 1:30 now. And Jason, you look at me like don't know what I'm talking about. I have 4 years of math, 3 years of science in high school, and I know science. This is not science. This is diabolical, and they're injecting these children with toxic shots, toxic ingredients, and it's causing major damage to these children. If you want to go ahead, Jason, you can have mine. Terry, you can have mine too. But I'm here for the children. Obviously, I don't see anybody up here talking about what's going on with all of these shots that the county's backing. And it's just horrendous that you just sit there with smiles on your face like, oh, yeah, we're on the health board. We're really cool cats. We know exactly the science behind this. And I say it's disgusting. They don't have authority. They haven't filed in the Federal Register. And you know about the Federal Register, you know about the Administrative Procedure Act of 1976. Even though England knows about it. And so they don't have the authority to do any of that. But you guys think it's really cool to sit on the board. And it's ridiculous. And I'm for the children.
Thank you,
I could
John.
care about what you guys have to say.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Yes, Pete.
Wasn't gonna talk tonight, but Pete O'Gray, Chairman of the Road Commission. I want to clear up a couple of the false statements in here. Old State Road is getting done over the next 2 years from M66 to M32, paid for by the Antrim County Road Commission. It's a 2-part series. We don't have the funding to go all the way across. Yes, Jordan Township, me and Bert went to their township meeting, did talk to them, no different than Kearney Township did over here, throwed some money toward Eddie School Road to help us out. When we did Eddie School Road, if everybody remembers, we had the washout on Comfort Road, which took about $580,000 out of our budget, was leaving us a shortfall. We did talk at that time, me and Terry, about a few things. We ended up borrowing the money from Alden State Bank to take that road all the way to 66 from Bel Air. We paid that loan off within 5 years. We do have money in the road commission. We do allocate $250,000 this year. It's divided out underneath the MTF fund. Everybody should get a copy of that. It's miles of road per population. Manslaughter does get the most money of that because it is a dual township. I would like to see more. Everybody knows where I vote on that. I've always tried to go higher. The rest of my board has decided that we needed to save some money back, and I'm okay with that. There is legislation, as Jason said, that is coming in the pipe. We just don't have the final numbers. And for me or Bert or any of our road commissioners to get up here and tell you that this is what we're getting would just be secondhand. And until we get that number in front of us and we get a good amount of money, and it sounds like I'm all about fixing the roads. Last year, we did over $3 million worth of roads in this county. $3 million don't go far. But Old State Road has and is on the agenda. And if anybody wants to see our 5-year plan, get on the road commission website, the next 5 years worth of roads. I think, if I'm not perfectly going to say, but I believe Old State's on for the next 4 years on both sides of 66. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
I'll say one more thing about your money. I agree with Jason there. We don't have a cop in over now, so something happens at the school, you're at the mercy of the state police because it's the closest thing you're gonna get. As the roads, it don't go far. And if you go and split it amongst 20 of us, which the statute says, all municipalities, villages, townships, cities. So we should be included in it. But it'll come down to like $10,000 and that'll get us, like he says, a couple loads of gravel. And we got 2 roads right now that are falling apart because the county has made a Class A road through our town, but not including our town. So we get truck traffic that's ridiculous and the roads show it. Anytime I've ever heard any work done by the county, it's thirds. They want to pay a third of our roads to get fixed. We're gonna get a third from the township or the county. I just don't feel it's fair. What's good for them, what's good for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else tonight? We wrap things up. All right, thank you for all being here. We're adjourned by order of the chair. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah.